Hey Dog Nation, I'm Brandon Adams, and this is Road to Atlanta presented by Kroger. We take an early look at the SEC Championship game featuring Georgia and LSU. And of course, for the Dogs, there is some business to take care of before the road to Atlanta leads to Mercedes-Benz Stadium. There's the in-state rivalry game known as Clean Old-Fashioned Hate between Georgia and Georgia Tech. How do the Dogs stay focused on that game, knowing that LSU is right around the bend? Well, I had a chance this week to ask John Stinchcomb, the former Georgia All-American, who was a part of the first UGA team to clinch an SEC East and therefore the first to play Tech, knowing that an SEC championship game was coming up after that. And Stinchcomb admitted this week that given the fact that right now Tech's not very good and the SEC championship game is as big as ever, the challenge of staying focused on Tech is a significant one. Here's what John had to say about that.
You don't belong on the same field as us right now. It's a fact. And you have to prove that. I mean, Georgia Tech's not going to roll over. They know their season is basically a lost cause, but, man, what an opportunity for them to be spoiler against somebody that they're always trying to knock off the list. It's a little bit more challenging to stay focused this week in preparation just because you've got a really big game coming right behind it. So you got to focus in, and I'm sure the coaches are going to be barking a little bit louder this week. Let's focus on what we need to do to get better as a team so that we are prepared for whatever comes down.
Barking coaches about improvement on the practice field, that certainly sounds like something the Georgia players are probably used to. And if you're a UGA fan, maybe now getting a little nervous about the fact that Georgia might be looking ahead to LSU, maybe ultimately that's not all that big of a concern because apparently even in years when the Jackets aren't very good, as John and Stinchcomb explains, this is still a really big rivalry, and sometimes rivalry games provide a motivation all their own. Here's Stinchcomb again.
Well, let's be honest, it's hard, especially in this scenario where, candidly, you probably don't need to play your dead-level best to win the game, and you know what's looming a week out. Now, what helps in that scenario is nobody in that locker room likes to lose to Georgia Tech. The last thing you want to hear is your in-state rival that you know you're better than have some grounds for chirping. You want to silence it early.
Look, here's our prediction around here. Georgia has worked awful hard to get to the spot where it is now. A chance to play in the SEC Championship and punch its ticket for the college football playoff. After that, if it can beat LSU, my guess is, with so much on the line, Georgia won't have any letdown against Georgia Tech. And Dog fans who always enjoy beating up on the Yellow Jackets, well, they may have another opportunity to enjoy that again here this Saturday. It's Road to Atlanta. It's presented by Kroger. And by the way, speaking of Kroger and speaking of Georgia Bulldogs beating up on Georgia Tech, one of the guys who did that a lot over the course of his career, the legendary former coach and athletic director Vince Dooley. Well, he's also a published author with some terrific books. And coming up this holiday season, he's got a wonderful tour of Kroger's around the Atlanta area that he's going to be stopping by and visiting, signing copies of his book. Great chance for you to meet one of the true Georgia legends and a great chance for you to get a holiday gift for maybe somebody on your list. So if you go to dognation.com, right up there at the top of the page, you can see some information about all the book signings that Coach Dooley is going to be doing at Kroger's around the Atlanta area, including here at Gainesville, coming up really, really soon. Thanks for being a part of Road to Atlanta presented by Kroger. I'll see you back here again tomorrow.